Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Annery Morgan. In this video, I'm going to give the ultimate school survival guide. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I've been in school my entire life. I just graduated from pharmacy school just last year in 2022. And I always get the question like, how do you do it? Like, how are you always in school? What keeps you going? Don't let anybody intimidate you into thinking that school is easy. No matter how much you see somebody doing extremely well or getting all those high grades, always a lot of work they have to put in to get to it. But what if that staying motivated part is just really hard? Believe it or not, I was in that category too, and I do consider school a struggle. Maybe a good way of letting you know that it probably wasn't easy. It depends on how you view this, but I'm left-handed. It's said that approximately 10% of people are left-handed. It's kind of known that left-handed people tend to struggle more and they tend to progress more in fields that are more technical, like music and probably math and stuff that you have to do with your hands. So sitting down for hours and reading a book and memorizing stuff was never easy. And then on top of that, I was not clinically diagnosed, but I did show, and I do still show, many signs of dyslexia. I'm not going to use it as like an excuse or anything. So I don't think I'm any of those serious cases. Yeah, so contrary to what many people believe, just see me go to school, it was really a hard road for me. And it really took a lot of determination to finish because I never enjoyed a second of it. So how did I survive after going through, I'm gonna just say high school and then undergraduate and then grad school and later becoming a doctor of pharmacy? I think I've had enough school-wise experience to be giving you some form of like advice on how to survive. Now, the first step I'm going to give is gonna just sound cliche, but hear me out, and my advice as I progress kind of gets more in the line what you probably want to hear. But one thing you must do for sure, and you cannot escape this, is to set your goals. And when I say set your goals, it's not like your school advisor that's saying, oh, write your long-term and your short-term goals. Oh my God, I hated that. Every year we had to write our long and short-term goals and how we want to get there and everything. It's annoying, but it's true. You do need to actually, in whatever way that appeals to you more, meaning whether it be writing it down in your journal, writing it down on the desk you're studying, wherever, making an actual vision board. Maybe you're a visual person, maybe if you're left-handed like me, you want to see what you want to go through, like you put the pictures of whatever it is that you want and whatever that sets your soul on fire. Like I have it as my screensaver on my tablet, so like I'm always like seeing what I want. It's very important to stay motivated. What I used to write to my advisor was completely different from what I knew I wanted for myself. I used to just write them just to, one, let them ask me less questions, even though their purpose there is to help you to lead that path towards it. For some reason, I just never wanted to hear from somebody who I know never dream in the same direction as me. You get my point? Now, my next advice is where the video might get a little interesting. My next point is do the bare minimum. Yeah, I said it. Do the bare minimum. What? Like, how will I succeed? This is why I needed to mention the first step, because when you set your goals and to make it as detailed as possible as to how you want to get to it. So maybe the way to get to your dream goal, I'm not trying to be mean or sound, but it probably isn't going to Harvard. I mean, yeah, it feels good to know you go to Harvard, and honestly, I watch those Ivy League acceptance videos and I'm crying. I know they put a lot of work in there and I just feel like it's an amazing achievement. But if your goal doesn't require you to go to Harvard, why is it in your plan? I don't want to sound like I'm discouraging, but you get the point I'm trying to make. If you know you're one of those persons that tend to struggle in school, but you still want to get to a point where you reach the goal that really literally set your soul on fire. Why are you going to put yourself through that unnecessary stress and debt and stuff to be aiming for something that's really going to take you off track? Because at the end of the day, you doing all of that extra stuff is really to please somebody else, like your parents, but at the end of the day, it's your life. So let me continue to expound on the do the bare minimum point. If it is that you know you need to pass your 5 classes, let's say it's not that competitive, you just need to have these scores to get there. Why are you gonna try and be like at the top of the class? At the end of the day, what's that gonna do? I don't want to sound mean, but like, what is it gonna do for real though? If I'm being honest, throughout all of my years of schooling, all the people that were at the top of the class, I don't know where they are right now. I'm not trying to be mean, but I hope my point is clear. Where the competition is stiff, then I get why you have to strive to be at the top of your class or whatever. But let's say you're in literally any university course where you're just going for your degree. If you know you just need to pass the classes, just pass the classes. In order to still live a life outside of school and like still not be frazzled and stressed out, when you set out your goals and write the steps in which you need to take to get, you don't need to watch the people who are being all up in the lectures. Like, those people are just wasting energy. The smartest thing to do is do the bare minimum. It's just school. There is absolutely no job that you go that will say, let me see your transcript, let me see your GPA. Nobody cares. At the end of the day, we're all getting the exact same degree. Nobody cares if you graduated with honors or not. The only people who care is probably your parents on graduation day and probably you. Nobody remembers the person who graduated with honors. So why are you like putting yourself unnecessary stress and losing hair and weight and not sleeping over something meaningless? The point that I have is to learn the power of networking. This is something I never exercise the most. And I know I just mentioned that person that's always all up in the professor's face and everything. So it sounds like I'm contradicting on that point, but I'm not. When you actually know where you're heading, you know who you need to talk to. And that doesn't mean being the annoying person that's up in their niche. If I wanted to be in skincare, it just means that I need to know who has connections and links to skincare and actually go plan a meeting with that person and sit and discuss with them, presenting yourself and representing what you're passionate about or what you love. And the cool thing about today is that a lot of people are really more accessible than you think. You have LinkedIn, find the people who have the links and access or made it where you actually want to get, and have a nice chat with them. Like, message them, call them for like a coffee date, like say, hey, I like that, and it could be somebody who just graduated as well and just start working for the company that you like. People love to give advice and say that they're the one who passed your name on to get this job or whatever. People love that. You hardly will find that person that's not nice, that's gonna be like, no, leave me alone. So learn the power of networking and use it to your advantage, you know? My next point is to don't feel pressured among the high achievers. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, as I said before, the people, especially if you're in high school, you'd be surprised that is the person who had to do the class 3-4 times that turned out to be the next Elon Musk. A lot of people who are successful, they always somehow have a story to tell how they struggled in school. Like, you hardly hear about the people who was actually getting the 4.0 GPA and the 4 point whatever, because who knew that GPA could go above 4? But you get my point. And my next point that branches from the don't feel pressured among the high achievers is to find your rhythm and follow it. You know what works for you. Whether it is studying the night before the exam, studying as soon as the semester starts so that you can relax throughout the semester, whether it's taking notes during class or recording the class. Maybe you're a night owl, so day classes, you just have to be present, but you don't know anything, so you wait till you reach home. Whatever it is that works for you. The reason why I'm saying this is because I used to feel a bit pressured when I used to see like someone walking with a big thick book, and when they open the book, the way how they annotate the entire page, write this, that, and the like color and like neatness. You know, it just look like they're so organized and together and whatever. And I used to look and be like, whoa, I'm not doing this. That means that are they learning something that I'm not learning, or am I not understanding something, or you know? But then with all the exam, and they'd either get the same grade as me. What was funny to me is when I get higher than them, because I'm like, so all of that, what what was it for? When you see somebody else working on their rhythm that work for them, don't make it give you anxiety. Sometimes that's why you feel like you can't do it, because you see somebody else overdoing it to a point where you're saying, no, this is not for me, because I know I don't have time and energy to be doing what that person's doing. That means I'm gonna fail. It will really turn it on, you know. I had to really go in my head and say, relax. Because you know, a lot of people, they're bold in what they're doing, but they're really not doing anything. My method was procrastination, knowing that the exam is next week. And I swear, I would just, 2 nights before the exam, I cram. I'm a crammer, so I would cram like crazy. My next point is to put your mental first. If you know you really need a break, the anxiety is too much, you go back to step 1 and re-strategize and do all of that, because you see, it's one life you're sure about, and that life is the life you're living right now. And the worst thing is to make school kill you off. School kill you? What is school? Is when you finish school, you find out that it really wasn't that big of a deal. It just, in the moment now, when you're there and under the pressure, it feels like someone get some rest, take a breather, like get in rhythm and understand who you are, know yourself to the point where you know that, all right, I can keep cramming some more. My eyes are shutting, but I can probably push through for another hour. So that's still knowing how to pressure yourself, but at the end of the day, you still need to know when, all right. This is serious anxiety attack taking me on now. I need to go breathe. Let me go for a hike. Let me go for a walk. Let me go. You know, it's one life you're living. You can't make school kill you. My next point is to reward yourself. When you finish that exam, when you get that grade, if the pass mark is 50 and you got 50.1, you better celebrate. What I used to do, let's say I have an exam today and I have another exam in 2 days or the next day. After every single exam, I'm going to rest. So I make sure that, okay, I'm going to do what I like. Whether it's watch that favorite TV show, watch Love is Blind, which I need to go watch right now. Play a little bit of your video game or whatever you do for just woosa. You get me? When I tell you, the anxiety among my classmates was crazy. And I was trying my best not to make it rub off of me. But like right after exam, I would see my classmates just get up and take up a book right after the exam, you know, and go study again. And I'm like, no, man. One time I did this major exam, which was crazy. I want to tell you, I passed it by a little. I went and I got pierce my ears. And another time I passed, I got pierce another part of me. Listen, I never play like, or I go get like a facial, or I do one of my little facial skin routines or something. You know, the other day I was hearing Robert Greene, the guy who wrote the 47 Laws of Power book. Is it 47 or 48 that he said? But he was saying something with regards to getting towards your passion. And there's a lot of not so pretty challenges that aren't so fun that you'll have to go through, even though it's your passion. So it's really that determination and drive that you have towards what you love. You must have some interest in what you're doing. If you're going to university and you're doing all these exams on time, and at the end of the day you don't have any plans for what you're studying, or what you're studying is just gonna lead you to do a career that you don't like and it doesn't link to what you love, then boy, that will have to be another video. And another thing is, just because you go to school, be a nurse, I'm just saying nurse, or to be a psychologist, doesn't mean that that's what you have to do until you're 60. Like, sometimes it's just a means to an end where it's just a great backup. But all in all, that's what I have to say about surviving school. And if you're still here watching this video, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and say something in the comments. And bye.